speakers and their messages. And we wanted messages of hope, motivation, and belief. What does it take to get the job done, to publish, keep moving forward, despite any challenges? We've had great messages in Vegas last year, in London, and be prepared for another great message from Chrishaun Keller Hanna. Welcome our keynote speaker, Chrishaun.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me? Great. Hello, all.
Hello.
My name is Chrishaun Keller Hanna, and I write monster books for my friends. And I have to tell you, oh my God, I think I'm a little high. I think, phrasing, I think I'm a little loud. Can you turn me down a little bit? Thank you. If you want to know this other story, talk to me after this keynote. But, because I was not prepared. But for this, when I heard Honoree's keynote last year, I was really inspired and I was fired up to go home and just do all the writing things. But Honoree wasn't the only person I listened to. I spent much more time listening to all of you in the chatter as we vaped out on the patio looking out over the water, as we walked around talking about where are the restrooms? I got lost so many times. And I couldn't help hearing one thing over and over and over again last year, was that the key to success was doing things that you weren't ready to do. Well, I don't want to write to Martelle, or I don't want to partner with Michael Anderle, or I don't want to share with somebody else, right? And there is good news. Number one, that those are ways, but there's a lot of people who did all that and failed too. And y'all looking at me like, this girl don't know what good news sounds like. But I promise you that is good news, because it means that your way very well may be viable. As you've listened so far today, I think one thing that you pick up is a lot of folks really didn't know what they knew, didn't know what they didn't know. Some people tripped into it, some people researched their way into it, but they all got there. They all got there. And where that there was isn't dependent on what somebody else said for you. You're going to do this much. You're going to sell that much. No, it was dependent on that one thing in all of you where you reach it and it's like, I'm a fucking writer. Right? And that is different for all of us. For instance, let me ask you a question. Raise your hand if you are full-time. Oh, there's a good number of you out there. Welcome. I retired from tech after 25 years in June. Yes, I am a lot older than I look. And, yes, full-time. And there's not a lot of hands out there, but let me ask another question. Maybe this will clear it up. How many of you are spending about 30 hours or more on your craft? Keep your hands up and look around. There's a whole lot more of y'all out there. Your hands are up. You can put them down now. All of you are full-time. Welcome. You are all full-time writers. How many of you have sold at least one copy of your book? Hands up. You're all professional full-time writers. Right? And it doesn't hit, does it? And absolutely, you can't get it through your head that you're actually a professional full-time writer. Why? Because you have children? Because you work another job? Or a couple? You can nod and yes, and I need your feedback. Yeah, right? How many of you have ever worked another job, like more than one job at once? Right? And you still call yourself one of the two. You call the one that's sexier, right? It's the same thing with writing. I'm a professional writer. I've been a professional writer since, oh God, I forget I'm old, since 2000. And during that time, what brought in money was being a chemist or being a server farm handler. They built up those little machines and let them go. Teaching teaching digital literacy, because I can talk, teaching digital literacy, right? Those are things I did to pay the bills. Writing is what defined me, because I am the story mother, okay? And now that we all agree that most of us here are full-time, let me share some things with you that I've learned that hopefully you will be able to take with you as you take all these tips, marketing and how to plot your story, how to edit it well, how to market it. How about a few things to help take care of you? The actual tool alongside with something for distraction-free writing and something to celebrate with that you need to actually finish what you start, which is a career as a full-time professional writer. Sounds good? Okay. First thing, see this body? Well, actually, don't look at me because it's not. Look at yourself. This is your money maker now. This is how you get your money, right? Please take care of it. Exercise, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, whichever that may be, your financial health is now part of your job. And it should be your first job, because you can't write good stories if you're not feeling well. True? Like I said before, I went full-time in June, and I ignored this advice, and I spent up to 5 days a week writing like this. Yeah, I hear the moans. Y'all know what I'm about to say, right? I totally messed up my neck because of it. And my doctor was like, what do you do? I'm a full-time writer. Get a gym membership. Make sure that your body is flexible so you don't develop carpal tunnel, so you don't mess up your neck, because I have a pinched nerve now. Take care of yourself. Emotionally, understand that your goals are your own and what you're doing is viable. Not everyone wants to do 10K right now. Most of y'all just want to hit the publish button, right? How many of y'all have not hit the publish button yet? No, thank you for being here. Yeah. The reason why you guys are here is because you feel hope, right? You hear our stories, you look at folks in there putting up their big numbers, and you're like, that's gonna be me one day. And yes, it will. But first you gotta press the button. And Michael Anderle will tell you about him telling me to press the button, press the button, press the button, and he never tells this fucking story right. No. I worked in tech, and we have a lovely parking garage. And it's about the size of this, the area I was in was about the size of this room, and I made a circuit around here with my computer in my hand, crying. I'm talking about ugly tears, snot. It was bad. Walking around. Meanwhile, this Austin, Texas. Meanwhile, in Dallas, this guy is driving in circles. Hit the button, hit the button, but I can't. He drove nowhere for 25 minutes, encouraging me to push that button. Why? Because it's hard. Because at the other end of pressing that button is taking your baby out and letting people see it. And that's hard. It's hard, and I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's so much better on this side. And if you find that you cannot hit the button, find someone who's willing to drive around in Dallas traffic and tell you to do it. Or just have somebody who understands that sometimes it takes an hour to hit the button. I pointed at him because it did, but I could tell you it was another 5 people who did the same thing. Sometimes you gotta sit with it, right? Another thing to understand is some of us, our money isn't big. We don't have big money, right? Pumping more money into a book does not make it better. You do want a nice cover. You do want a good blurb, right? But the story is the reason why they come back. Focus on that. And when you have money, go get a Mariah Sinclair cover. because they're amazing. I knew I was able to upgrade. I hit one of my goals in my life when I upgraded and could afford one for covers. Because it's about the small goals and something as hard as this. Another thing to do for mental health is to realize that this has a lot of moving parts. And every little thing you do is taking you one step further to that goal. You won't see it in your pocketbook. Matter of fact, a lot of y'all will see that pocketbook go down and you're gonna freak out. Yeah. You will freak out because what we do is not cheap, on top of being hard. But your successes are in, did I get my words in? Did I get some words in? Did I return those emails? Did I hit the button? Did I read that book on ads? Each one of those things is part of your success as well. Sound good? All right. And now that, let me do one last thing on the full-time. It is okay. It is okay to go out and do that full-time thing, that singular writing thing, and decide that you really do need to be around people and go get a job. I need to be outside. I really do. But a lot of people think, well, if I go full-time, I have to stay. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything but legal, right? You don't have to do anything except for not break the law and not be an ass. But you know what I mean. I'm not going to mention names, but how many of y'all see folks who put up big numbers? I'm not talking about monetary, but like high word counts on their 20Books. Yeah? I'm not going to say y'all do it or y'all don't do it, but thank you. Because it does two things. Number one, it lets us know that this can be done if you want to. And it reminds me that I don't want to. Y'all are wonderful, and y'all make my heart feel good, because I know if I actually got off my lazy ass, I would hit that 10K, and I'm good with the fact that I'm not. Some of y'all want to beat yourselves up with that same image. Don't do it. Because you don't know what kind of skill set, you don't know what kind of things you're willing to live without, right? What we are willing to give for our craft, for our art, is as personal as our name, right? And so it is by that you should measure your progress. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Look out there and know that you are not alone, and people are on the same grind as you, and they will get there far ahead of you, far behind you, alongside of you, but do not beat yourself up with that. This is hard enough, amen? It is hard enough without having to sit there and set somebody's expectations on you. But when it comes to your goal, when it comes to when you hit it, you know you've made it big time, protect that with your life. And I'll tell you a couple of things of mine. Number one, when people start doing slash fact fiction in my universe. I am looking forward to that day. I am looking forward to that day. Did that sound anything like money to you? No. Why? Because this isn't just about money. Now, if you want to know the actual money goal I have, next year I want to sell 100 copies per book per day. Will I achieve it? Do I know how to go about doing it? But you know what? I know some of y'all do. He's waving like, yes, I do. I know you do. That's why we're talking too. Some of you do. And not only that, some of y'all want to learn too, right? And that's why I'm here. And that's why all of you are here, to assist each other in the goals. Yeah? Good. This is going along swimmingly. Mm-hmm. This is a good one. Let me see if I should go back to the other one first. No, it's cheat. Huh? Oh. Full-time writers, we've all agreed, right? How many of you have sat up there and had life just totally mess you up? Kids come in talking about how they ate all the cells. A tire literally comes off into the highway. You have a nervous breakdown. Truly, I did. Y'all read about it. Or something crazy happens. Life does get in the way. And when it does, you have to stop your writing, your creative endeavors. If that's what it takes to get yourself healed up, because remember, this is your moneymaker, do it. Burnout is a truly big thing, and it's a real thing. So take your non-writing time and protect it with your life. Because that is the way, someone asked Izzy, how do you fight burnout? You fight burnout by not doing the things that burn you out. And that sounds simple, but then you want to finish that one last chapter, or you have a great idea, right? Or, oh my God, I got to make these bills, right? And you push and push and push and push, and then you're done. Listen to your body. Protect your non-writing time. You don't let anything creep up in there. If your kids need you more than the book, tend to your kids. If your friend is having a hard time, let them have that space. Let them have that you time. You can come back to your craft. And because you have helped others, because you have taken that rest, you will perform better. I guarantee you. How many of us have done the 4 a.m. words where our editors have brought back, have commented, and be like, the fuck is this? I can't correct them because I don't even know what you meant to say. And I'm looking at you, Leah, because what she does is she puts 2 question marks. And I know it's like, that's at 3 a.m. when I was drunk stuff, sorry. Trying to push, nah. No, it was awful. But good, y'all do understand what I'm saying. That's, oh my God. And we're gonna be out ahead, so we're gonna get to drink sooner. Okay. Before I came up here, I walked up to Craig and I was like, you and Michael just shaved 10 minutes off my talk. Because they were telling about what 20 Books to 50K was. And when I talk to folks about this, even out in the hallways, they're like, yeah, 20 Books, but I can't do that in a year. No one said you had to. It's a promise without a time limit, right? It's like, produce this set. This is a goalpost for you to sit up there and measure how you are in your writing career. 20 books over the course of a lifetime, maybe big or maybe small depending on you, but once again, we are only talking about you, right? Writing fast is not the moneymaker. I mean, this is, but your catalog is. The works that you have completed, the works that you have finished to the best of your ability because you took care of yourself. You took care of your mind, your soul, your emotions, the people around you. You talk to people. Right? You guys understanding?
Yep.
I'm trying to see if I want to say anything else. Because we're connecting here. I can feel it. No, I actually just have 2 more things to say. Great. The first thing is, sorry, that wasn't it. The first thing is going back to hitting those goalposts comes from consistent and constant work, right? How many of y'all think that means 7 days a week? Okay, let me ask that a different way. How many of y'all work a job outside of writing, right? Okay. How many of y'all would say that y'all go to work fairly consistently and constantly? Good, because like I got a job, but I'll go. How many of y'all go to that job 7 days a week? I'm sorry, baby. Sorry. But you do know that at a certain time you are to get up, shower, hopefully, and then get on said bus or start said car, get kids out, and do the job, come home, do other things, right? Consistently and constantly. Find those times, secondary to your non-writing times, and fight for them. Consistent and constantly. That's how you get your back catalog. That's how I did it. Right? And the last thing is remembering, and I'll leave you with this, is remembering that there are very few tools to do this job. There's a lot of knowledge and skill. There's very few tools. This is the major one. The second thing you need is distraction-free writing environment. I don't know what that means for you. I know what it means for me. Where did Jen go? Jennifer? Yeah, hey. I know what it means for me. It means I need to turn off the internet or get something to where the internet doesn't really work. So, one of these. It's an iPad. Space gray because we're fancy but not too fancy. I was like, they were like, well, we have space gray, but we don't have any rose gold. And that's how I knew I was in Vegas, because the rose gold was sold out. I was like, honey, we are non-fancy and non-basic. And a keyboard that goes with it. I have this, and I know a lot of folks connect on, and they type. And Scrivener does roll with this, doesn't it, Spider? Okay, just one making sure. So, distraction-free workplace on your. Oh, did I just mess up my? Yeah, I did. Okay, so on your name tags is a number, and she's gonna pull out a number. Who's 203? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Distraction-free writing is the best writing, especially if your editor can see it. Second thing is to be able to celebrate when you've hit your goals. Now, she looking hard at that bag. You're like, ooh. Yes, it is what you think it is. Well, let me get to there. Let me work up to it. The second thing is celebrating. I worked hard, and last week I hit the USA bestseller list. And I only tell you that to give context to the story I'm about to tell you. One of the things he said was, when you achieve it, what are you going to do for yourself? And I said, well, I'm going to go to Tiffany's and I'm going to get an elephant charm because they're really cute, right? And so I hit the list, and then I had to do a bunch of things, and then I came here. And then there's that story about High that I'm not going to tell you until I'm off of here. And I ended up buying 2. And I laughed at myself, and then when I actually sobered up, I looked at it again, and I was like, I'm not going to return it. Because this means something. This means that I spent 1.5 years to do something that a lot of folks said I would not be able to do. When the first time I told somebody that I was planning on going full-time, as in leaving my job, their response was, you know it's not going to work, don't you? Right? No, but I got to see their face when I told them what we were doing and that I hit the list. They were surprised. And with a lot of help from a lot of y'all, it's not just my big brother, Mike and Judith, or Craig. It's from seeing you guys as excited as you are about this as I am, because I still wake up excited. And for 1.5 years, I was on the grind. And then this happened. And I celebrated. And I want one of you to celebrate with me. Can we get another? Last 3 digits? Who's 175? Congratulations. It's still wrapped. There's nothing like the little blue box. Let me tell you that truth now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chrishaun. Holy crap, what a first day, huh? I've been up since 2. We have a few more raffles. We have the infamous chair sitter raffle.